So that's another week gone, and we're now into March. Unfortunately, in this video, you won't be seeing Shelley from her training this week because she didn't do any. The viral infection that she had didn't clear up, so it was sensible that she didn't attempt any training at all this week. In fact, she ended up having to get a course of antibiotics from the doctor to help finally shift it. One of the things that both Shelley and I are reluctant to do, unless absolutely necessary, is take any medications. We prefer to let the body heal itself naturally as far as practicable. Unfortunately, it just wasn't clearing for her, so she did have to get antibiotics in the end. I'm glad to say it has helped though, and next week there should be a video of her being back out doing the training. However, I did get out myself. I managed to get out with a friend of mine yesterday, and we did 14.5 miles, which was good for me. The thing about yesterday's walk is the snow. We've had a lot of rain, snow, gale force winds, and really bad weather here on the island, the same as in England and across this past week. But the walk that we did yesterday, it was snowing when we set off, and by the finish, it had cleared through, the winds had dropped, and it turned out to be really quite nice sunshine and very little wind. Temperatures had gone up. -1 it was when we started, and it was +3 when we finished. So it proved to be a really enjoyable day's walk. And the thing that I'd like to share in this video is the pros and cons of actually doing some training with a partner, with a good training partner. The thing is, yesterday, for instance, for me, if it's simply been a case of me deciding to go out and do a training walk, for instance, but it was snowing, blowing a gale, and not very nice out, I wouldn't have gone on my own. I like to do the walks, but I prefer to do it in good weather, or at least not bad weather. However, because I'd made the agreement to go with my friend, and we do these walks regular, every week as far as practicable, subject to our own schedules and different things that are going on in our lives, the training walks are a big motivation when you have an agreement with someone else to turn up. So yesterday, even though it was snowing, blowing a gale, and very cold, I didn't have any hesitation in going to meet him to go out for the walk. It wasn't a hardship at all. In fact, it was a pleasure. One of the nice things about doing it with a friend, particularly if it's someone who has a similar level of ability, a similar motivation to do the best that they can, is that you go and you do your best. So that's one of the things that I think is a big plus in having a training partner. Of course, the converse is if you look to do training with someone who perhaps has a lot less ability than yourself, yes, it could be enjoyable in terms of companionship and just generally having a social outing, if you like, and that is great in and of itself. But if you're looking to improve your training capacity so that you can give the best of yourself when it comes to the races, I think it's better to do the training with someone who has at least a similar ability, if not a little bit better. Now, in my case, it turns out that my friend himself, he has a similar level of ability, perhaps a little bit better than me, but he also has good experience. I've got 5 finishes, he's got 6 finishes, and we have a similar pace that we've done our best times in, which is sub 19 and a half hours. So it's really good in that respect. Plus, with doing the walks with someone else, you'll be more inclined to do the training on different terrain. He lives in a different part of the island to me, so by meeting each other in respective different parts of the island, we do get to do training on different terrain, and that's quite nice. It breaks you out of your routine. For instance, some people might prefer to do just training on the flat, perhaps because they feel it's easier and they can go faster and it'll make them seem as though their times are better, and they may not like to do it on hills. Well, if you're always doing it on the flat, you're not going to improve your ability from doing it on the hills. So we mix it up. We do different mileages, we do it different terrains, and we also do different paces, because obviously some days you're feeling better and more motivated than others, but you can push each other along and you will improve. So that's one of the nice things about having a training partner. And the only other thing that I can say about the training partners is that obviously if there's 2 or more of you, there is safety in numbers should anything untoward happen while you're out and about on the roads. I know perhaps most people would carry their phones with them. I personally don't. And at least if there's 2 or more of you, the chance of something happening and you being stranded somewhere is reduced. And the only other thing that I'd say in summing up, clearly I am pro having a training partner. I think it's very beneficial for both parties, as long as both of you are of a similar commitment level, similar ability, and also similar outlook. Because one of the nice things about doing it with a friend who has a similar outlook is that it makes the time really fly quickly when you're out for 3-4 hours, whatever. It's certainly a pleasure, and if you can find a training partner that will support you in your goals, it's a big plus. So that's it. Look forward to next week now. Hopefully Shelley will be back, and until then, thanks for watching.